Today, March 24th on Stampede TV.
An explanation of the holes popping up around campus, a look at the most recent IGM event, and a sports wrap-up.
These stories and more coming up next on Stampede TV. You may have noticed the recent digging going on around campus, as well as the recent emails from Brent Nipper about water issues. Pablo Rivas spoke to Ken Broyles to find out more.
There have been numerous holes popping up around campus the past few weeks. Back in January, Milligan was notified by the city of Elizabethton that there was a leak on campus, which was fixed. However, in February, the school was notified that its February water bill was triple the normal amount. Ever since the end of that month, the grounds crew have been digging, trying to find the leak. Ken Broyles has more on the process.
Unfortunately, back in the early days, they didn't keep really good blueprints of things. And our prints are old, and some of the prints are even missing. So we've had to physically get out and look. Maybe that's why you're seeing most of these large holes around campus. And when we find a pipe, we're marking it, we're measuring it, we're redoing our drawings to make sure that they're accurate for whoever precedes me when I'm gone from here for the years to come.
The leak still has not been found, but there is a direction that the grounds crew can indicate towards.
What we're doing now, we're still looking for the leak. Our biggest suspect is the line that feeds off of the 6-inch pipe and goes over to the faculty office building, but that's all under the concrete pad where the chillers are. There's no possible way to dig that area up, and we've had sounding equipment and everything else to try and find it. But when we valve that side off, it does slow our meter needle down. That's how we determine where we're losing water, which line.
Even with the situation ongoing, Ken still believes there are positives to this.
The good news is that we'll have accurate and detailed drawings of where these lines are for the future, and we'll have better control that we can isolate lines. Right now it's conservation, water conservation. We've got to jump on every possible remedy we can. So that's where we're at.
This is Pablo Rivas with Stampede TV.
Thanks, Pablo.
Last week, SGA hosted Midnight Volleyball, and reporter Thomas Moore went to take a look.
SGA hosted Midnight Volleyball for students on Friday night in the Steve Lacey Fieldhouse. The event consisted of 13 teams competing in a 6v6 single elimination style tournament. In order to win each match, teams needed to score a total of 11 points. Director of Campus Activities, Brielle Davis, said that SGA representatives volunteered to run the event and its various responsibilities for the night. The SGA members acted as referees, line judges, and scorekeepers. The teams were allowed extra members for either substitutions or students to act as coaches for their teams. In the final game, Natty Daddies faced off against the Franco Triadores in a match which needed 21 total points to win. The Franco Triadores came out on top after several back-and-forth rounds of overtime. Junior Anaki Morino served as the coach for the winning team. He and junior Luke Bennett went over their team's strategy going into the game.
Our strategy was to have fun, enjoy with the boys, and then whatever the result was, just be happy. But we obviously wanted to win, so.
This has been Thomas Moore with Stampede TV.
Thanks, Thomas. The next campus event will be an open mic night on March 29th. A sign-up link was emailed to all students from Brielle Davis, Director of Campus Activities.
The debate team's first competition is approaching. Pablo Rivas has more.
Milligan's debate team is in full swing as they prepare for the state tournament this weekend. Due to COVID concerns, this will be the only debate event of the year. Auditions began in late August, and the team has been practicing since late September. Milligan's debate students, like sophomore Ellie Lopez, are ready to compete.
We're all really excited and nervous for the upcoming tournament. It's going to be next 2 Saturdays from this one. We all started with a really small team, but we've grown over the semester, and I think we're all just really excited and ready to go at it, and we know we're going to learn a lot. And there's going to be some mistakes, but we're ready for whatever is to come.
This is the program's first year in action, spearheaded by Dr. Michael Bluen, who hopes his debate students can take away some positive applications for being on the team.
So I'm excited about the idea of training young people to go out into the world and to be agents of change who can respectfully disagree with others in a constructive sort of way. I think that's really one of the great benefits of doing debate, beyond the kind of practical skills that you develop, like public speaking and critical thinking, which are marketable in all of the different areas. I think it does, in a more holistic way, teach you to be a human being who can coexist with people that have different ideas than you do, and still love each other and still find a way to move forward.
The state tournament is set to be this Saturday, March 26th, and also Sunday, March 27th, if the team moves on in the tournament. This is Pablo Rivas reporting with Stampede TV.
Earlier this week, IJM hosted Pastries and Policy, an event where students could send a letter to government representatives and get a sweet treat. Reporter Thomas Moore has more.
Members of the IJM hosted a Pastry and Policy event in Sub 7 Monday evening. Students could write a letter to their state representatives and senators in Congress to advocate for more funding to be focused on preventing human trafficking in the United States. Once students filled out the letter template, they would turn it in to an IJM member to be folded and could receive a pin, sticker, or donut in exchange. Junior Olivia Brokaw helped organize the event and explained what they hoped students would take away from attending.
So the most important thing is that advocacy is super important. So one of our key roles on campus is to advocate for those who are facing human trafficking or violence and living in poverty around the world. And so we just want to be a voice on campus, advocating for the vulnerable and using our voices to really make a difference as much as we can.
Junior Molly Dykes attended the event and shared how she thought this event was important to her.
The main reason just being human trafficking is really prevalent in East Tennessee. Not as many people recognize it, but it's definitely a hub for that. And writing to our, Congress representatives is always a really good way to promote policies and promote change and to let them know your feelings or thoughts about an issue. They're the ones who are in their position, so that way they can promote change.
This has been Thomas Moore with Stampede TV.
Thanks, Thomas. Now back to Grace with sports.
In sports last week, baseball beat Montreat, Alice Lloyd, and Kentucky Christian, but lost to Cumberland. Softball also lost to Cumberland and Tennessee Wesleyan, but scored a split doubleheader against Union and another split doubleheader against Columbia. Flag football scored their first win of the season in a split doubleheader against Cotty. Men's volleyball beat Appalachian State Club. Men's tennis lost to Wesleyan in Point, but beat SCAD Atlanta 6-1. Women's tennis also suffered a loss to Wesleyan and SCAD Atlanta, but beat Point 5-2. Golf had a successful start to the week, with the women's team placing second on both days at Tusculum and the men's team placing fifth and third. Elena Perryman tied for first for the 2 days. Coming up this week, baseball plays Union and Cumberland, softball plays Bryan and Point, men and women's tennis play Reinhardt, flag football plays St. Mary's, and track and field compete at William and Mary. I'm Grace Teeter for Stampede TV.
And I'm Lainey Butt for Stampede TV. For the latest news, visit us online at milliganstampede.com. Tune into The Roundup, our weekly podcast, or check us out on social media. Be sure to join our next newscast on April 7th, and thanks for watching.